In 1955, an American family sat in front of their television watching a program that promised them that by the year 2000, there would be entire cities on the surface of the moon, a robot cooking in every kitchen, and a single pill that would replace your dinner. It is now 2026. The children who watched that program are grandparents today. So how much of it actually came true? The answer is stranger than you'd expect, because they didn't just get it wrong, they got it wrong in the opposite direction. In the first half of the 20th century, the future was a fashion. Science magazines, world's fairs, car companies, all of them were painting the same picture of the year 2000, clean, metallic, atomic-powered, and everything in it flying. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 big predictions people made about the era we're living in right now and see what actually happened. And at the end, I'll tell you about the one thing that changed our lives more than all of them combined, and that almost nobody saw coming. Stay with me to the end, because that last part is the real surprise. The first prediction, and the most famous one, human colonies on the moon. After Apollo landed on the moon in 1969, everything suddenly seemed possible. Newspapers wrote that the children of that generation would spend their honeymoons in a lunar hotel. Engineers drew cities under glass domes, fields growing food in lunar soil, and shuttles carrying passengers back and forth like city buses. And the reality? The last human being to walk on the moon left it in 1972 with Apollo 17. And after that, everything stopped. For more than 50 years, not a single person traveled beyond Earth's orbit. We didn't move forward. We took a step back. And the reason wasn't scientific. It was simple and boring: money. Going to the moon is enormously expensive, and there was no longer a political race to justify the spending. But pay attention here, because the story changed recently. In April of this year, 2026, NASA launched the Artemis II mission, carrying 4 astronauts on a flight around the moon and back to Earth. They didn't land on it, but they are the first humans to leave Earth's orbit in more than half a century. And the actual landing? Planned for the end of this decade. So our grandparents' prediction wasn't wrong, it was just late, by about 60 years. The second prediction: a human-shaped robot in every home. They imagined it with 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. Standing in the kitchen, carrying the dishes, wearing an apron like a household servant. That same image showed up in almost every drawing of the future. And the reality? The robot did move into your house. It just looks nothing like what they pictured. It's a small disc that drives itself across your floor and cleans it. It's a box in the corner of your kitchen that washes your dishes while you sleep. It's a device that hears your voice, plays your music, and turns off your lights. It's a thermostat that decides to warm the house before you even think to ask. The mistake wasn't in the idea. It was in the shape. Our grandparents assumed a robot had to look like a person in order to replace one. What actually happened was smarter than that. Instead of building one servant that does everything, we built 10 small machines that each do one thing very well for a tiny fraction of the cost. And keep that in mind, because this pattern is going to repeat. Reality almost always turns out simpler and cheaper than the fantasy. The third prediction: entire cities sealed inside giant glass domes to control the weather. And this wasn't just magazine fantasy. The famous architect Buckminster Fuller genuinely proposed back in the 1960s building an enormous dome over Midtown Manhattan to cut heating costs and get rid of the snow. And the reality? Not one dome was ever built over a city. Not because we couldn't, because nobody could find a good enough reason to. The solution turned out to be much smaller. Instead of controlling the climate of an entire city, we controlled the climate of each individual room. An air conditioner in the window, a furnace in the basement. Same problem, solved from the inside out instead of the outside in. And yet the dome didn't die completely. You'll find it today in covered stadiums, in the massive glass farms of the Netherlands, in agricultural projects out in the desert. The idea worked. just at the scale of a building, not a city. The fourth prediction, and honestly the most charming one, a network of pneumatic tubes running beneath the city, shooting your letters and packages to your front door at the speed of wind. And here's the surprise. This one was never science fiction at all. It was actually running. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Paris, New York, and London all had real underground pneumatic mail networks. Paris kept its system operating all the way into the 1980s. So why did it disappear? Here's the beautiful irony. It didn't disappear because the technology failed. It disappeared because the letter itself did. We stopped needing a tube to carry paper because paper stopped carrying the message. Mail went electronic. It arrives in under a second, and it needs no tube, no capsule, and no mailman. As for packages, they're still riding in trucks, exactly like they were 100 years ago. The only difference is that now you watch the truck move across a map on your phone. The pneumatic tube wasn't beaten by a better tube. It was beaten by something nobody in that era was picturing at all: the network. The fifth prediction: we were all going to eat pills instead of food. The thinking was that eating is a waste of time and that science would compress it into one small tablet containing everything your body needs. No cooking, no dishes, no long family meal. And the reality? The exact opposite. Food today is more varied and more present in our lives than at any point in human history. You can eat Korean for lunch and Italian for dinner in the same city on the same day. Cooking didn't die. It turned into a hobby, into a culture, and into one of the most watched categories of content on the entire internet. Yes, the pills exist: supplements, protein powders, meal replacement shakes. But they stayed on the margins for athletes and people in a hurry. Because our grandparents forgot something simple. Eating isn't just fuel, it's pleasure, it's memory, and it's the reason a family sits down together. And no pill on earth can take the place of that. And now, the part I promised you. Notice something about every one of these predictions. They were all about motion: cars that fly, rockets that travel, tubes that deliver, robots that move around the house. They imagined a future where we would move faster. But the real revolution wasn't in motion at all. It was in stillness. The thing that changed your life more than anything else is a small object in your pocket that doesn't fly and doesn't move. Sitting exactly where you are, you can see the face of someone thousands of miles away, buy almost anything, and reach every library in the world. That barely appears in a single retro-futurist drawing from the 1950s. They drew the city and forgot the network. They drew the machine and forgot the information. And maybe that's the real lesson here. We are very good at imagining a bigger version of what we already know, and almost incapable of imagining the thing we don't know yet. Which brings me to a question I'd genuinely like to read your answer to. 70 years from now, what is the thing we use every single day right now that our grandchildren are going to laugh at? Write your prediction down in the comments. I read them and I'll reply. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel more than you'd think. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.